She wants a young American. It's all right. She wants a young American.
My first question, George, is hundreds of people are here celebrating David and all would like to hug him, but he's gone. What are your thoughts watching these crazy and wonderful people there?
My thoughts are my main thought is that I appreciate them as people, for whatever reason, found a joy and a connection with watching David Bowie and following him for however long, whether they're new fans or whether they go back years and years and years. And I always try and give them my best, my time, for the few moments I'm able to speak with them, because I know that most of them invested lots of time and money to travel, sometimes great distances, just to be here. And I want them to have a memorable experience.
Great, thank you. Mm-hmm. The last time I saw you was May the 19th of 1978 in Germany, Cologne. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine this period of time?
Can I imagine what that period of time was like? Yes. I can intellectually, I can see that the number of years, 1978, May 1978 through May 2024, it's a long time. I can't even I can't even subtract that fast, but 78, 88, 98, 2008, that's 30. That's 36 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And I remember that when we were there, Cologne was one stop on the tour in 1978. And essentially, I hope you enjoyed the show.
I was 14, I was a child, and it's stuck in me. It was the best concert ever, of course.
Good, good. Did your parents take you, or did you go by yourself?
I went by myself, which is in half an hour wide, but in the night my parents grabbed me then. Yeah, unbelievable. The years with Bowie, job or love?
I'm sorry?
Job or love?
It was both. It was both. I mean, let me put it this way. I loved the job. Okay, as Dennis said in one of the clips that Nacho showed, it was a good job to have for a musician. And it was unique. Mm-hmm.
After your collaboration, did you listen to his music?
I did. I listened to it, and there were favorite songs that I had, and every once in a while I would play something that I didn't, play, regularly. And I'm always impressed, and sometimes, excited when I hear the things that we did together, even though they're 40 years old.
Yeah. You played, if I counted right, 143 shows with David. What was your dearest tour with him, 1976 or 78?
You mean which one did I prefer? They were different. They had different musicians. They had Dennis, Carlos, and I, and then there were different musicians that David brought in to fill out the sound and for the music. Boy, that's a hard one, actually, because I really don't want to pick one over the other. They were both. So let me say this: as far as size and scope, they were the same. The stages was probably about the same size. The lighting was the same for both shows. Okay, the sound company was the same. Some of the people from 1976, the business manager, the tour manager, they were the same folks. Carlos, Dennis, and I, we were the same. So there was a consistency there okay, that went from year to year.
Okay, thank you. What is your dearest album of David?
My dearest
Album.
with
Record.
the-
Record.
record? My dearest. There's a tie. There's a tie between Heroes and Station to Station. Station to Station because actually the first thing I did with David, with Carlos and Dennis. And Heroes, because the music had a chance, that relationship had a chance to develop over 3 years. Okay? And we started in 1975, in September of 1975. We toured in winter and spring and early summer of 1976. We recorded and worked some more during 1977. We recorded Heroes in 1977. We took that out on the road starting in the winter of 1978 into the spring and summer. So the music developed, different songs on both of them, but everything developed chronologically and in a logical progression.
Understand. Okay. What did you enjoy more, touring or recording?
The pure enjoyment of playing the music was the touring, because the music was recreated at each event. And there's always little differences here and there. And throughout the tour, certain little things changed or were added or dropped or enhanced, and that was based on what had happened before it, either one or two performances before that. So I enjoyed touring just for the joy of playing the music. In the studio recording, it requires different pieces of your attention. It requires your skill, creativity, imagination, discipline, and it's just different. It's just different. Touring, the music becomes second nature because you've rehearsed it, you played it over and over and over. And even though each show is a little different from the last for whatever reason, it still feels spontaneous.
What kind of guy is Adrian Belew?
Adrian Belew is a unique individual. he was entirely different from other people, other lead guitar players that David had used. I think all of them up to that point. I had never heard anybody play like that. I had never seen. And he was so relaxed, he was so comfortable with his life, back home with his family, his children, with the way he dressed. The guys are wearing suits, fine, I'm in a Hawaiian shirt. It doesn't matter. It's and he brought an energy that was so refreshing. And you could see his experience and in the condition of his instrument, of his guitar. It was scratched and beat up and it was well used looking, and he's like, you gotta hammer it and to get all kinds of sounds out of it. He was wild. He was wild.
It seems you liked him.
I did.
I have a last tragic question, maybe not important for you, but Sean Mays, the keyboard player, you know that he died.
I think I heard it, but I didn't. It was something that I think went right past me. I did not realize that.
Can you give me some impression about him? What are your memories about Sean Mays?
He was a very subdued individual.
Oh, what is that?
Subdued means like he was different in his approach to music. He was more in touch with the music that was happening at that moment, because music was changing from rock and roll into we'd call either new wave or punk, but it was changing. It was becoming a little different. And he brought that element into the band with David. And he was a steady keyboard player, both piano and I think he played some synthesizer or string machine, whichever that was. And he was very consistent and very easy to relate to and get along with. He was a very nice man, young man.
George, thank you.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
It's all right. She wants a young American.